Hello, all you marvellous folks. Flax here with flaxformersphotos. It's been a little while. It's been a minute, but today I have something very exciting. The setting has changed a little bit because movements are happening. University calls. I'm very excited to do an unboxing of the Heavy Infantry Mandalorian, aka Paz Vizsla, aka the artist formerly known as Beefcake, aka the guy your girlfriend tells you not to worry about. So let's crack this guy open. Easy peasy with the Black Series. All it took was one bit of tape on the top. Preserves the box. No weird, like, kind of popped bit of cardboard in here that slides into the box. Just a simple box. Come on now. Just some gorgeous artwork on the back. I don't know if Gregory Titus still does it, but he certainly used to. Same piece on the front. Got that D2. Don't know if that stands for Disney, but I've heard not many of the figures have the D. Are you serious? But I've not seen this guy out of the box. As you know, this is a first impressions kind of thing. And good lord. He looked good through the layer of plastic of the box, and having him out here now, that is just insane. I have a much better reaction to these Black Series figures than I do to seeing the Transformers. I feel like the Transformers, it's all in kind of the transformation and the way they feel. With the Black Series, it's truly the way they look that gets you first. No zip ties. Why can't Transformers do this? Woohoo! Here he is. I'm just having a look at this guy, getting a feel. Oh, already that neck joint. That is nice. We'll be going over articulation a little bit for sure. Although keep in mind this is not a formal review, this is just a kind of unboxing and first impressions. As usual, if we have any breaks, they're going to happen on camera. Oh, nice and tight. You already know, aubergine popping up on the screen. Oh my god. And I have some pretty cool stuff to compare this guy to today, so I'm really excited about this. You know, it's the reason I got this figure. Oh man! Oh, look at him. This is blowing my mind right now. You can get him looking down the iron sights on his... Oh man, okay, let's just get into this. Just get a look at some of these details. Oh, the little buttons and keypad and stuff. The battle damage is awesome. This blue, just a little accent of blue in the helmet and on the gauntlet. Is it anywhere else? No, but that is enough. Oh, the texture on these tassels down here. It's just like the Predator figures where it's got, and the Snake Eyes, where he had all the different kind of actual texture on the kind of fabric pieces, all these pouches. Love a good pouch. Just makes a figure look kind of real world and actually like it's used. Let's get his accessory out, shall we? And it's just one big accessory. Excuse me for the plastic cracking, I'm going to shut up for a second. And here we have his jetpack, and what I can't help but call his smart gun. Big old peg in the back, I'm hoping. Oh my god, that didn't sound good. Oh, that is nice and stiff too. You already know. Storage on the side here. That is also tight as anything. Oh man, this beefy bear of a man. Look at that. And this does have the gorgeous kind of blue heat warp over it. It's just, oh man. This plugs into the back of the plasma gauntlet. I'm used to having the NECA Predators, so I'm fine with this pipe being here. It doesn't really hinder the articulation. Wow, not really at all, goodness. Awesome Baze Malbus style, thick kind of coil leading from the... I love imagining him just like turning on the jetpack and all the power shooting into the gun and just coming out as a big flame. Man, coolest idea. And I didn't actually notice until I saw the figure in reviews that it came directly attached to the jet of the jetpack. Very exciting. Got some nice kind of... The silver battle damage throughout this thing is it's quite heavy-handed. I think if you were customizing a figure, you'd go a little bit less thick on it, but it still looks awesome. I think the Black Series figures have a particular style. I didn't used to like it. I thought they looked quite cartoony, but then I saw a few in person and it changed my life. Glorious Mythosaur signet there. This does swivel on the coil, and the coil itself is pretty bendy. I don't think you're gonna mess anything up by using it. Oh, that is a good look, having him hold the side handle. I haven't seen a lot of reviewers do that. A lot of them have had him hold the rear handle, but that is a cool pose. Gonna have to have a wide shot for him if I do any photos. When, for sure. Don't know if he can hold the side handle. When he's got it like that, he can. You just can't help but do it. Oh man, I'm bending that side handle. That was not good. Sorry guys. Yeah, do not recommend that. That handle was bending quite fiercely. It's on a separate, kind of like the hose where it meets the jetpack. It's actually a separate piece that is stuck in, so cannot recommend that. I will not be doing that again. That's kind of worried me. Finding this quite hard to maneuver and get into his hand. Ah, there we go. There we go. Satellite radio. You're getting hit with the boom boom. Oh, he has a nice ankle tiltage for that classic heavy Mando pose, and that just looks killer. You've already seen that ankle articulation is kind of perfect. The wrists, it is kind of a problem that, as many reviewers have pointed out, this one, which is supposed to hold the thing like that, so you'd expect it to move kind of like a motorbike, is on a side-to-side rocker, as if he had a pistol and was kind of holding it like this. Chin reveal. And the other hand, which is supposed to hold the handle, so you'd expect to go like this, does the motorbike. So basically they've got the wrist articulation the wrong way around. He can still hold the gun, as you saw, but I don't like stressing those tolerances. He's going to sit on a shelf very nicely. This tan, it's only on, like, compared to how much dark blue there is, it's on like comparatively quite a little bit of the figure, but it adds so much. And with the yellow, the different shades of brown, the silver, jeez, this is gorgeous. I mean, I'm already incredibly happy with this guy. Let's get some comparisons going. Something a little bit special today, and I'm showing off something that I haven't in any capacity on this channel or my Instagram. So let's do it. This is actually what pushed me to get this figure in the first place. Not the cover. This is the, as you can see, the Mandalorian concept art book. I'll probably talk about this in a separate video. I don't know how much you can show with books. I feel like there's a little bit of a grey area with the copyright, because I've seen people flip through entire concept art books, just slightly time-lapsed on YouTube before, but also people who only show like 1 or 2 pages. Not really sure. Disney, quite trigger happy with the ban hammer, so I'll be careful. Here we go. He's called Brute Mando in the book. The reason I called this a plasma gauntlet is because of this. Look at it dripping. That is molten plasma. Wish he'd used that in the show. It's like a solid beam of just heat. And it says, our Mandalorian had the whistling birds and the forked rifle, so we wanted to give the heavy Mandalorian something different. And we thought, what about a plasma laser? Yeah, you thought this was just a piddly little rifle. It is not. It is a molten plasma launcher. Wicked. Just adds so much to this character, even if he didn't use it. And the reason I called this the smart gun is because the giant Gatling gun was a nod to the M56 smart gun aliens blaster rifle that they mounted on a Steadicam rig. Just another piece of artwork. You can really see the alien influences on that gun. Kind of sci-fi history embodied in this figure as well. I love stuff like that. They call him a Mandalorian on steroids. Just a bunch of stuff. But here we have the reason I got this figure. As soon as I saw this, I was like, well, I wonder if that heavy Mandalorian is still in stock. Just look at that. So this is by concept artist Brian Matthias, or Matthias. And there's only minimal changes to the actual final design. He's got red on his gauntlet where there's light blue on the figure. and as far as I can tell, he stayed pretty much exactly the same. We'll get a little comparison going. Do you think they did him justice? I think they did. And this is what I mean, the colours are kind of more saturated on the figure, but again, they're less saturated in the concept art, I'd argue. So kind of a happy medium would have been a little bit better, I think, but you can't deny the presence of this piece. And the colours that are there, when you don't have something like the artwork to compare it to, they're just spot on. I love this tan, especially the more I look at it. I really picked these up for the designs of the characters, you know, from that kind of standpoint. And to see the kind of concepts and read about what went into this guy just makes him that little bit more special of a piece in my collection. I just really love stuff like that. Those of you who saw my Alpha Predator review will know that I love that kind of link between the actual artistry that goes into a design and the toy itself, because it's kind of seeing that vision. Accessories, I am more than happy with it just being the jetpack and this massive smart gun, because he's got the plasma launcher, you know, we know what that is now because of the concept art book. And if we're being honest, he just looks like the sort of character who, if he ran out of ammo, you could literally just curl him up into a ball and throw him at the enemy, and that would be a viable tactic. He's so heavy and hefty. Only gripes, I think the jetpack looks a little bit flat. Maybe not even a thicker wash, but just a more obvious one. The paint, as I'm starting to find with Black Series figures, around the back is a little bit more lacking than it is around the front. I mean, this silver ring is just so messy. I guess I could chalk it up to battle damage, which is better than nothing, but some kind of wear around the thrusters would have been nice, you know, similar to what they did here. Maybe not the blue, because I think that's for the gun, but sort of some scorching around here. Even maybe on his thing, I feel like having heat with that much, I mean, that's just a safety hazard, isn't it? Not gapes. Yeah, some sort of scorch marks, you know, even just from the heat down the fabric and in the thrust, around the thrusters would have been good. The thrusters do have ports in them. I know that some people have said there's a lot of effects that work with it. I will definitely be putting my War Machines effects in there. I'm just going to have to compare them to what I have on hand. Unfortunately, I do not have any of my other Black Series figures with me, but this should give you some kind of idea of scale. Here he is. I'm just going to line him up at the bottom of my phone as I normally do, next to your standard Lego figure. Here he is next to your standard deluxe Transformer from the War for Cybertron line. This is Siege Sideswipe, so I mean he towers over him, ridiculous. Standard 3.75 inch figure. And just for some more Mando love, here he is next to my, it's either Kotobukiya or Artifacts, different sites list different things, Boba Fett statue. Obviously they are not in scale, but you can just see the kind of weathering on this isn't far off the weathering on this. This isn't a Hot Toys piece or anything, but it's still a higher end collectible, and not gonna lie, if these were the same size, even the kind of colour saturation is pretty spot on. But that is it, guys. If I can, I will post some photos towards the end of the review of him next to some of my other Black Series figures once I get him with them. And besides that, first impressions. I mean, we haven't gone over articulation, but it is what you'd expect. Like I said, this pipe does not get in the way of anything that a human would naturally be able to do. So you can even get him into some kind of barreling forward, sprinting poses like this. Head articulation, I'm happy with, honestly. Like, as soon as I got it out of the box, he has a nice ball joint in there. The neck, I don't know if there's supposed to be a ball joint in the base of the neck. There kind of is, but it doesn't really add much. That's more the helmet moving from the top ball joint, but that's kind of the range you get. He can look down, not to his toes, but I challenge you to wear a helmet this thick and look further down than that, and not up to the stars, but pretty high up. I don't know if we ever saw him flying straight at the camera. If you wanted that, you can't really get it, unfortunately. I know that's a bad thing to some people, but I also don't know how many people actually display their figures flying like this. I mean, how many flight stands do you have? Yes, nice lumbar. Hindered by the jetpack, and that did just come off, but you know, this guy's pretty hefty. He's not going to be dancing around like a ballerina. One other negative, I would say, this guy was £30, and that's fine for him, but you couldn't have thrown in his vibro knife. It's like the one thing he does. I just think that would have been that little, and this is my problem with Hasbro, they never go that little extra mile. I can always say with those NECA Predators that they have gone the extra mile and added in things they never had to, especially for the price. With these, This is the same price as the Jungle Hunter. I'm kind of just realising that for myself. Wow, and he comes with, in comparison, basically no accessories. If we're counting the jetpack as part of the figure, then he just comes with a gun. That's it. Like, it's nicely detailed. I mean, the grey is pretty flat. Yeah, little bit lacking, especially because it's just a knife. It's not like his other accessory is a rocket launcher or something. Tiniest little thing, which I'm sure they could have used an existing mold for. We don't really see the knife that well because it's vibrating and it's dark. I don't know. Just think that would have been awesome, because then we can get some Mando standoff. Mandoff? Display options. But no, what do you expect? First impressions wise, positivo. It's got to be. How can you not? That, comparing it to the concept art, knowing all the cool stuff about the character, his presence, his shelf presence is going to be beefy. This guy's going to be able to stand up to the predators. And even though he only has that much motion forwards, way back. Hey, maybe he can be a ballerina.
Just thought I'd get some quick size comparisons going. Here he is with Cody, and as you can see, he's way chunkier, but not that much taller. I think it makes his legs look a bit short. I'm kind of as level with them as I can be. And you can see from the wood behind him that he is like a forehead taller. And again, definitely wider, but he looks a bit dumpy. He's looking very Winnie the Pooh body type right now. There he is with his Stormtrooper, albeit carbonised. This is a little bit better, but as you can see, the Stormtrooper's crotch is at the same height. And just for some fun, here he is with Zuckers. So, something worth noting, he's got the girth, but not the length.
You know I'm going to be taking some shots of this guy for Franchise Flip Friday. Be sure to follow me on Instagram if you want to see that. The link will be in the description. It is at flaxformers_photos. Leave a like, subscribe if you're new. I do unboxings and first impressions, as well as reviews and just general discussions about the hobby. But for now, I hope you all have a great rest of the day.